Hey guys, it's Tarkin coming at you with another game of Hollow Knight Silksong. We're gonna go try to find our bones. Now I've fixed my technical difficulties. We've gone too far. I'm sure that we'll die again. I don't know how those things work. You can't kill them by hitting them, and you can't always run away either. And then, so, you know, it's sort of a sort of a problem. Oh. Well, that's bad. Well, it looks like we're probably... Hey, we got back to the cocoon. That's exciting. It's way too much money to be running around with, but I don't have a solution. Anyway, this is the worst, and anyway, there's a flea that way somehow. I imagine we'll figure it out by accident after failing a lot. I don't... Look, if I can't see what I'm supposed to do, I'm not going to figure it out super well. Even if I can see it, I'll probably not figure it out super well. Alright, so there, we almost took some damage, but importantly, we just got out before the fires that you can't even hit with a sword got us. But yeah, see, that was easy enough. And then here, we know we gotta go up. Alright, yeah. Excellent. Right. This is a very unpleasant... We're just gonna turn it off. Alright, we will turn the sound on later. Hopefully they will play some music. I cannot believe they want to make me listen to that sound with no music for an extended period of time. I'll just talk. I'll put something else on if they don't want to play a song, which, by the way, is outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous that they would force a person to sit here with this miserable sounding nonsense going on constantly. I have a thing about sounds, y'all know that. Anyway, but now the flea is out, and yeah, we're not turning sounds on until we get out of here, I guess, because it looks like they're just gonna keep on making me listen to it, and I don't want to do that. It's the worst thing I can even imagine. Alright, I bet they'll play a song here. Wait, did they... Okay, the music just kicked on? Yes, I guess that is the case. I'm like, why couldn't they have played it in there? The absolutely obnoxious sounds would have been more tolerable. You know, with just a little bit of music. Alright, so what else is left? That flea, which I have no idea how to reach. Alright, so why is the... Okay, that is incredibly annoying. The mouse cursor is in the middle of the screen unless you're using it, right? Maybe it's always been that way. I can't stand it. It's very, very obnoxious. It's okay. I'm just gonna do something else. The sounds really got to me. If you just put like something banging against a wall in a game that would just keep happening forever, I don't like that. I don't think you needed to do that. Like 18 or even 100 iterations of the sound that then stop, totally fine. Anyway, I'm done talking about it, at least for now. We're out of there. We're not going back. We got the thing we needed. What's the point of that? Oh, you can break it? Oh, and it doesn't even hit us in the head. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I know where we are now. Right? No, I don't. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure you don't get, like, a percentage for a flea and like that. I mean, I know you don't, but maybe for all of the fleas you do. Alright. There's still nothing there. I guess we can go... Oh, that's right. We got the craft metal thing, so we can go and get the other thing, which I have cunningly marked with an icon there. So over to the high halls. Because we found the craft metal, somewhere. I don't remember where. Maybe it was in that weird wisp thicket place that doesn't show up on the map. You know, it's too secretive. Like, Verdania is like a mythical place too, but that one's there. But the Wisp Thicket. And I'm wondering, like, is there something in here? Alright, so up and to the left-ish. There, that's much better. Blah. Yeah. right, you can't wall kick that wall. Terrible. Alright, back to there. Fortunately, it is close, and I don't think we have to come back here again afterward. You could the nail hit it, you could hear it hit it. Needle, of course, not nail. Anyway. There we go. Jeez. We will construct it into a flying automaton. The humble cogfly, winged cogwork companion that will seek nearby foes and attack. This is the one that everybody says is like the thing, right? Which I'd totally be willing to use if it'll deal with flyers. Alright, we're using the thing where the silk just freely, like, attacks our foes. I mean, I guess it's kind of okay. But since I'm bad, you know, we kind of need silk for our own purposes. Oh, why am I trying to do that? We can just... Oh, wait, do we want to... There's something marked there, and I don't know why, so we should probably just go there real quick. Alright, let's not. 'Tis a silly place. Alright, Greymore, because that's the last one that we used. Alright, so now we're at 83%, very reputable. 85% was what I finished Hollow Knight at. Alright. Maybe there's still some flea things to get that we didn't get yet. Guess we're gonna head over there. We don't need that anymore. And that's the pin for, I guess I gotta find another key somewhere. Absolutely no idea where that's ever gonna be. But you know. What to do, what to do. I'm gonna go chat with them, I guess. We haven't seen them in a while, right? Is there a point to do that? I mean, maybe. Alright, you can't... You know, I feel like I tried to do this the other day, too. I'm like, alright, you can't actually use the map the way I thought. Okay. I can't get to us there. How about here? Yeah, I guess we can just pop on over to Flutopia. That's not how to get there. Wait, is that... Is the mouse icon literally just gonna stay in the middle? It can't always do that. I would have noticed. It would have made me mad before. That's so obnoxious. I can't believe that. Hide cursor. I find this to be incredibly obnoxious. I just can't believe that has always been in the middle of it, and I don't know how to make it go away, right? Like, what's different about today playing Silksong? Shouldn't have updated, like... I hate everything. There's no way it's normally like this. It would have made me mad. There's no chance. Look, like a different thing can make me mad depending on the day. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm a consistent guy, but there is absolutely no way that has always been there. For 60 hours to be playing the game and I haven't noticed it. Because it annoys me. And that's the kind of thing that I would notice immediately. I forgot how do you... Okay, that button. It sure would be nice if these fools had, like, a fast travel point out here, but you can't have everything. Okay, so he's just telling us you've gotten almost everything and already bought all the maps. I can't stand that is there. I gotta quit talking about it. I can just turn off the stream, but I can't believe that is happening. Alright. And then, yeah, and then it snaps the cursor there. That's crazy. That is crazy. Oh man, that's the worst thing I've ever seen in my whole life in a game. I cannot believe it is doing this to me. There's no chance it always does this. I don't know what's wrong with my computer. I'm so mad. I'm gonna have to stop. I can't play with this. I can't play under these conditions. We'll turn the game off and turn it back on. If it doesn't go away though, I'm just gonna... Yeah, that's... Like, no human being should be expected to play a video game with a mouse cursor sitting in the middle, just, like, sitting at you. That's not okay. You shouldn't have to live like that. Hey, Neo. Alright, am I gonna freak out or is it gonna be fixed? Alright, now it's fine. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm glad it's over. Man. So, the mouse cursor... Like, the one in-game, if I was using keyboard and mouse, was on the screen permanently in the middle. Like, right in the center of the screen. Like, I would have the mouse and, like, move it over out of the field of vision, right? And then pick up the controller, which I play with. And then, as soon as I tab into the window, the mouse, like, cursor would go into the middle again. It was just driving me absolutely crazy, dude. Like, it was in the middle of the map here. It was just permanently a cursor thing in the middle. Yeah, I was losing it. I was, like, angrily striking my chair. It's okay. It's falling apart. It's, like, 10 years old, not because of me. It's a good chair. The only thing that are falling apart are the armrests. Just the thing that I was hitting. You know, I wasn't, like, really wailing on them or anything. But, anyway. Good. Now we can play the game. I don't know what to do. We have done 83% of the game. Alright, so there's a flea there. No idea how to get to him. We can try to go over this way or something, but... Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, I gotta change this tool. Because every time I get Silk, it just throws a fireball at dudes, which, like, sounds fun, but it isn't. Because the fireball doesn't work very well. It's possible that it does a lot of damage. So what? No. And this is where that one lady used to live before kids all ate her, I think. Alright, so that was, we tried the Wisp Fire Lantern. I hate it. I never want to use that again. Alright. So what do we need? We need a key. We need to not be down here. Because we're trying to find what? A flea up and to the left. Okay. Not like that. Might as well put the wreath on real quick if we're going to be around here. Alright, so I don't think we can get back up that way. Please just let me... I hate everything. Are you joking? Are you joking right now? Just let me go to the right. Just let me go. Oh, there's nothing up here. Great. Hate the dark. So annoying. Okay, well, I really thought that was gonna help. Well... Like, where could there even be a key that I haven't got a key? Maybe we can go to that shop. I don't know if we've been to that shop for a super long time. Maybe they have something new. Oh, he actually has a ton of stuff here. Okay. Thief's Mark. Bam. Get ourselves another % there. And then we have a need for a huge amount of money, I guess. Because that'll be another % there. And the crafting kit, I have no idea if those are %s, but you know. Yeah, we just, we don't have nearly enough money. But we do have 84% completion, so that's good. 2% done. Because even if we break these, we just end up with what? 300, 400. Not enough for one of those things. And I tell you, at this point, just like every other point of Silksong, I have no interest in grinding money. They don't make it easy enough. And in fact, in Act 3, all the places that used to be good for grinding money become worse and give you the same amount of money anyway, which is a little bit of a heartbreak. Because we've already went up and fought that dude. Well, chat up Ava a little bit here. She says, "Lady, so you live still. This is good. I'd felt the conflict commence, pale hearts ablaze, and the sudden well of darkness after. I'm sorry, Ava. I'd hoped to slay the monarch and was near achieving that goal, but the situation's become complicated. Now all the Fartham threatens to fall. Of course, I've already beaten the big bad, but that doesn't matter. But I can sense it in you, lady. You're not yielded to despair, so some must still remain. Of course, they let you keep on playing the game. They have to forget that you've won. Otherwise, all the conversations you have wouldn't make sense anymore. Same game plus. Slim hope, I suspect. But true, there may yet be a way through this disaster. I shall pursue that goal with whatever strength remains. And allow me to continue to aid you as I can. Mine might be a strong contribution, but I shall provide it eagerly. She's going to gaze at our nature to offer clarity. Okay, so we get another blue slot, which is actually amazing. That's super good. We don't need it anymore, but it's nice. Alright, so no idea what counts as expanding our nature, but hey, an extra blue tool slot is just absolutely amazing, so I'll take it. Was that a percentage? No. And this is where it all began, right? Can't believe we can't knock through this wall or something, though. Oh! Well, look at that. Well, I don't want to break it. I'm gonna do it anyway. There could have been an item. There isn't. And I'm a monster. Wait, what? Hey, this old girl. She's like the first boss of the game. Ah, what a waste of a stagger. Alright, the old Moss Mother defeated once more. But she doesn't even get a new entry. I have to defeat one more? What? How many of them are there? Well, to be fair, I didn't know this one was going to be there. I could have played a little song, but I didn't. All I did was hit him. Alright, well. Fascinating, you know, I wasn't expecting a little mini boss fight. Fortunately, we were all healed up. That's all the weave nest to the right there. That's right, we've got both a new blue slot, which is amazing, and we can put the old long claw there, and then we totally don't need that all the time. Get rid of defeated enemies, but lose some when you take damage. Sounds terrible. And maybe we'll use these cogflies and see what everybody else has been talking about all along. I mean, maybe not. Right now we're just sort of running over everywhere we've ever been. Here we are at the resting places of the snails, of course. Hey! We found a thing! Hooray! Anguished aura, 8 masks hard, swirled soul, enraged. 12 actants fought, all juices strained, 6 pilgrims living, hung long to drain. Dark little poem there. Well, you know, this is very ominous. Boss fight, maybe? Friend, or whatever it is she says. The crest of the shaman. Well, you know, cool. We found it. I wonder if it's a percent. Another one of those things where I'll probably never use it, but maybe someday I would. It's gonna make me do it right now, isn't it? Well, that... It sort of like pushes you back a little bit. Oh, okay. you know, that power strike is pretty sweet, isn't it? Stupidly like, how do we get out of here? I'm like, I guess we'll just go for the ceiling, right? That is a power we have. Oh, right. It took away my ability to see. It's like what they want to make sure if you get here somehow when you're not supposed to, you definitely can't get back out. %85. Huzzah. Oh, those are the slots that you have to get for the many things. But of course, we're just going to roll with our old trusty wanderer. Well, all in all, a very successful little jaunt here, right? I guess what do we do now? We can go... So we just need to really just poke around in every zone looking for those big void hearts to fight, because I just, you know, I don't remember where we fought all of them, but I'm sure if we run for a while, we'll see one, or not. Man, the early game atmosphere is so amazing. So is the late game atmosphere. But this, like, I love these zones. The first zone, you know, like, what wonderful color and everything. And then you get in here and it's like, it's bleaker, but like the, you get like the first, like, really big shock of like the bell motif. And, you know, they really pay that off so well. And like Bellheart and stuff. Hey, Luke. Collect the mouse area. Yeah, and then like at the end of the game in Act 3, they give you another like beautiful green area as well. I'm much the same. Every green area in this game I really liked it, except for Biowater, but that's like a dark poison green, you know. Hey, Justine. Alright, so yeah, we'll just keep on poking around. Biowater's brown, indeed. But in the game, you know, it's... Alright, alright. Oh, well, alright, so we're not supposed to stand in there for too long. She just laughed at us. Yeah, I think it was more like a figurative name, right? Certainly I don't think, like, actual bio was involved. Hey, we found the thing. This is exactly what we were looking for. Alright. Another one of the Void Masses. We need, what, like 4 more of them for the quest? Yes. And you just sort of find them by running around and, you know, looking at everything and... Wow. Decided for this weekend? Well, you know... I'm going to work, that'll be okay. But I did get rid of my Monday, so now my weekend has expanded from, you know, the Sunday night to also all day Monday. Because I had not exhausted how much I wanted to not be at work, so I'm gonna keep on indulging that as I can. Good. No, and I don't even think that's that iconic of a thing. I think that was just me getting obsessed with that one. She does like a shaw in the first game, and that I think is one of like her big things. But she doesn't do it like at all in this game, which is pretty tragic. But no, she's, you know, she vocalizes, she's got like the sounds and stuff, but she doesn't have too much in terms of wonderful catchphrases. Justine, you missed them. Like, yeah, you know, it was just... I'm like, we'll just go straight up into the foe. It was just wheat. It was still a good time, but perhaps you'll catch another one later. I almost did Minecraft instead of this, but... And this is the site of, like, my great triumph. The very first day the game was out. So there's a dude that's, like, in here on the roof. And... Anyway, you can get over here without having, like, the dash yet if you, like, do some careful movement. And I didn't know where the dash was. I knew there would probably be a dash, but anyway. It's like one of the, basically, like, the third thing in the game I did was come up here and then fight that dude without a dash. And then get over this way for my beloved Wanderer's Crest, which I've been using ever since. IKEA alien plushies. And they have a shark one too. I guess I am, like, way behind. I don't know about any of these IKEA plushies. I've never been into an IKEA. I hear they're magical. I hear you can buy meatballs there. Kind of a fan of anywhere that'll sell you stuff and meatballs that's not like a meatball principal place. I know they're like Swedish meatballs, but any meatball is a good meatball. You know, that's my policy on it. Like I've said before, I'm a very bad Buddhist. Okay, so Xylotl is still here. We already popped his assistant. Said, sir, you are in a disturbing state. This substance sprouts from within your shell. Time will see it consume you entirely. Would you seek aid? No, no. Assistant, you are confused. A wonderful thing we become. The plasmium, our great research. We've progressed. The research must continue. Soon I shall become a source. Oh no. The lands have taken the plasmium well. The soil has drunk it deep, and the creatures bloom so beautifully. Have you seen them? The effect of your plasmium on the beasts here is all too evident. Great change has been inflicted upon them. Yeah, so this guy was, doing research on this blue substance, this plasmium, which was much less widespread earlier in the game. And then we, gathered him some samples. He's like, cool, I'm going to do some mad scientist stuff. And now this is happening. There's an echo also of other infections I've witnessed. I wonder at the meaning of it all, or if I'm perhaps imagining the similarities where there are none. Assistant, you grow more inquisitive. We both seek deeper insight. Could we peer deeper inside somehow? Let us think on it. By talking again? Yes, by talking again. Assistant, learn more of plasma owners. I know what we must do. The bugs below who have imbibed the substance and evolved, their bodies are full with plasmified blood. Use the nil file and extract this precious nectar. Again. Excuse me. Yes. So I'll take the nil file, find the plasmified bugs below. Charge the file to full strength, pierce them deep, extract the plasmified blood. Once we have it, peer deeper, learn more, and let yourselves fully. No, I support like food and snacks in environments where you don't necessarily expect them. Like the meatballs there, like getting a hot dog at Costco. I don't go to Costco like for myself, but I've been with a friend before, and I did get a hot dog, and I was like, this is great. I should come here all the time. You know how you feel when you get a hot dog, where you're like, wow, I should come back at this exact moment every Thursday forever and get another hot dog. And then by the time you finish it, you're like, it was an okay hot dog. That sound there, that was just the whole world crumbling into ruin. That's not related to his experiments, I want to be clear. It's just all the blue stuff ruining the world that's his fault. All the corrupted thread and stuff, it's a little bit me. Luke, you say you're understanding of IKEA furniture as it slowly disassembles itself. Well, yes, but, do not we all slowly disassemble? It's not all furniture self-deleting furniture. Blah, blah, blah. I don't have any IKEA furniture, but I've been thinking of trying to order some cabinets for Warhammer stuff. Because they used to have a specific one, I don't know the model off the top of my head, but the subreddits, they tell everybody the same things, and they're always right. Oh, we need to... I bet if we would have equipped the item like he specifically told us to do... Some Swedish word. Exactly. You know the one. You know the one. But interestingly, it actually was once much more annoying to move around in this area. His plasmium got rid of the worms that permeated the area before, so now it's much comfier to move around, although, eerie and dangerous. Comfortable in an abstract sense. got an entry? Yeah, you know, it's been explained to me that sales are very important. Alright, that doesn't work. Alright, why can't I... Alright, you gotta... Right, you have to go up. Like, I forgot how to use the tools of the game. Hiya! Okay, well, that didn't work so well. But no, any job I had where I sold people things, I didn't like that, you know. Or if I liked parts of the job, that wasn't the part I liked. And with my specific personality, I would often, you know, get my managers mad at me whenever, you know, they'd be like, why'd you tell them they didn't need an air filter? I'm like, well, because they didn't need an air filter. I looked at it. And they're like, you're supposed to let them make the call. I'm like, they asked me what I thought. I'm like, do you want me to go down to the pit? I'll just change the oil. I don't have to talk to these people. Haha! Alright, so that's 1 unit of blood, and we need 9 more units of blood. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to reevaluate that plan slightly. Alright, there we go, we got him! And these are the worms that used to carve through the walls and stuff, and so this is... It says, in her home caves, when the substance was allowed to flourish, she saw similar aberrations. Wonder tainted strong with revulsion. Yeah, got him. Shaw. Alright, I don't know. How are we supposed to get from him? Maybe we're not. Nope, I don't. Ha! Anyway, I don't think, maybe... Those worms that got the map. Those worms used to be, yeah, this place is called the Wormways, and in Acts 1 and 2, before, because Act 3, you know, a bunch of the stuff of the world changes, and the fruition of his research comes. So, all this, they used to be, all through these areas, they would be, like, moving through as, like, environmental hazards. So they didn't sit still. All of these pathways were just, like, casually walking through. All through them, all, like, I'll demonstrate with my hand in front of my face what I mean, you know. All through here, they would be going up and down and around, in like bands of 3 or 5. You know, you gotta. It's pretty annoying moving around in here, honestly. Yeah, you know exactly. But now they are like right there. That would have been one that you had to dodge on a timer, but. I think maybe they can't even be killed. But obviously you can just find a few of these guys and farm them. They're not like restricted. You don't have to find 10 different ones. Which is good, you know, could be... Oh, not charged enough. So you can't move while it's charged up. But there's still somehow 16 enemies we haven't killed. Somehow. I will accept the movie recommendation if you accept that I might not watch it for an incredibly long amount of time, but I will write it down, and in the event that I ever watch it, I will let you know what I think. Ow. Hiya! Nope. Oh, well, it's just right here. Why did I try to dash through him? You know, I'm just like totally... Because I'm playing 9 Souls and this at the same time, basically, although way more 9 Souls than this, at, you know, the given time, it's like... there are certain behaviors that are very deleterious in both of them, right? You know, this one's got contact damage. That wasn't because I'm used to a different game. Control scheme, exactly. But also, like, what a dash means. Like, in this, if you dash into a thing, that doesn't... You know, that's not good. Dashing through a guy means you dash into a guy, but in 9 Souls, dashing through an environmental hazard means, you know, you don't get hit by it. So I'll just, like, make the wrong choice. Be like, okay, yeah, and then I'll just dash through the fireball. No. In Hollow Knight, you could do it, too. Whoops. Eventually, you could. But if there's a dash through your enemies in this game... Give me your soul! Oh my... That's so obnoxious. A book story. Like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the reboot? I think they just called it Sabrina. Because, like, when you're charged up with this, You can't move, you can't jump, you can't dash. All you can do is sit exactly still and then let go of it. But fortunately, we only need one more. And I'm gonna go for this one. Obviously, the actually efficient way to do this, I imagine, is just to do 10 loops right there. Right? You loop up here, you go to that guy, and then you hit the bench. But, you know. The moving ones are easier because you can see a little bit of dust where they're like underground. The stationary ones with the fireballs are so much more unpredictable. Assistant that order, you have the plasmified blood. Give items? Yes, of course. Take it, sir, though what insight it will grant, I cannot say. Have faith, dear assistant. After all this, I understand. The greatest knowledge comes only from faith. Faith in plasmium. This blood you have collected sparkles. I see it. A glorious form, a glorious future, shimmering back at us. But yes, very much easier once they charge you. What do I get? What do I get? Give me something. Through consumption of the blood, we shall at last attain enlightenment. Boss fight? If I were to take the gland from within my shell, my gift to you. No more need of it, and it shall grant you unending reserves. Plasmium, yes, plasmium, pure, beautiful. Plasmium. It's not a percentage. It's not a tool. So rather than have to come back for a reserve for that, like we have to go back to for the flea brew, you can just use that. Well, you know, I suppose that's theoretically nice, but if you only have one tool, and I only have one tool, because your health, yeah, this item is the one that you get for doing, like, the plasmium file here. This is the one that you get for the initial quest. But when you used up all your charges that you had on deck, you would have to run all the way back here to talk to the guy to get more stuff, right? Same thing with the flea thing. So this is like, now if you're using that, you wouldn't have to come see him anymore. In like Final Fantasy or something, whenever an enemy would take money from me and then like you beat them and you don't get your money back, that would always enrage me. But like, how could they just take my money and it goes away? It doesn't make sense. It's wrong. Haha, we found one. Good stuff. I figured for the Void Hearts, because someone told me that there's more than 12, right? Like, there's a bunch of them. So if I just ran through, then I would probably find some. And that's exactly what's happened, right? Like, we found a couple. Of course, every time we find one, we figure there probably won't be one too close to it. But if we continue on with our re-exploration, that'll be nice. And plus, one of these days I want to try the speed run of this. Not the proper speed run, just like the go fast run. I learned a little bit about the speed run of this game, like the any percent glitch one. It's I never want to play games like that. It's cool that they can do it though. That's how I feel about, like, basically all heavily glitched runs. Interesting, but not, like, the kind of interesting that compels me. Now, if it's, like, a glitch that gets you, like, missing no... Well, that's different. Yeah, you ask how far I'm into the game. I'd say pretty far. We have 85% now. You know, like, I've beat Lost Lace and stuff. The face in the background? Yes. The Tombs of Pilgrims. You know, that wall looks weirder than basically every wall in the game. Does it not open? No, it's just a mouth, just a teeth wall. Use number one. No. What a cool area. Oh yeah, and this is the, whatever happened here. Desperate from the other side. Ominous. Yeah, just doing some quests. We just did the old Plasmium quest, and we're just running through and doing Void Hearts now. And plus, you know, it's often enough that just running through I find, you know, some old thing that I didn't know was there. Like another Moss Mother lady. Oh. Oh, right, we don't have a red tool on. Shadalar. Favorite ice cream flavor? Oh, what a good question. My mainstay that I get all the time is cookies and cream. Like, that's my favorite cheapy ice cream flavor. My favorite, like, good ice cream flavor, though, I like pralines and cream. Like, that's my idea of a nice flavor, like, combination there. But I celebrate the whole, like, flavor palette, right? What I don't like is anything like mint. Those are the ones that I try to avoid. Not because I don't like the flavor, I do, but with mint, I find that, like, it sort of, like, overpowers my mouth after just a little bit, right? And I can't eat, like, the gluttonous amount of ice cream that I want to eat if that's, like, part of the flavor. I'm sure. That's a good one too. I really like in the fruit vein. I like what color of fruit is it? What kind of fruit? They do some kind of gelato. Probably raspberry. You know, you got to enunciate the P, or people will think you can't spell it. That's me, perpetually concerned with how I sound. No. But, you know, whatever they had at the store and their little plastic things, but or was it? No, it was sorbet, that's right. Because the other ones were gelato, but that one was sorbet for a reason that someone who understands Italian ice creams would be able to explain, probably. Red blackberry. You know, what are the berries even for? Hey, we found another one. Huzzah. How many more? Like one? Two. Two's basically like one. I mean, in what way is two different than one? 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 times 1, probably 2. It just depends on who you are. People don't forget, Terry. People don't forget. I'm going to call Terrence Howard Terry for the next 4 seconds as if I know him personally. I don't. But I will rag on him in random moments. You know, I feel like I owe him that much. Just more dairy. It's really just more shaved ice and fruit or fruit syrup. Ah, okay. Because I think... When did I learn the difference between a jelly and a jam? It must have been when I started baking myself and, like, watching the Great British Bake Off or something. So it would have been 2 years ago. Speaking of baking, I was actually going to make bread. I went and I got some stuff out, and I went to bloom the yeast, and it's all dead because it's been a year. Of course it was dead, but that's why I check. You know, what are you going to do? Anyway, I got to go buy more yeast. Jam still got it. Yeah. Jam's made with the real fruit. But if you use, like, the juice or whatever to do it, then that'll make a jelly. Which, whenever I learned, as an adult, that you could, like, when making your jams and jellies at home, when making jams, you could get like a fine strainer and then like not get all the seeds in there. Whenever I learned that there was a way to not get all the seeds in them, I was very upset. I deeply resented everyone I had ever made jam with in my life. All family members, of course. But because I haven't made, like, I wouldn't call it like a lot of jam, but like I've assisted my mother in many jars of jam. I don't know, like a couple hundred, right? Not like a lot. But enough to know that it would have been a bunch of extra work, and that's why we didn't do it. Black and red bean paste or both jam? Absolutely. I'm reliving all this bitterness again. I'm like, man, because like there are so many textures that I can't stand, and little tiny seeds in my absolutely delicious jams. That's texture number 2. Like that's a big old hate right there. I don't think they should have allowed that to be a thing. You know, they always should have said, when you make a jam, you got to get all those little seeds out. That should have been like as baseline as bread should have crust on it. Until you put in yogurt texture. There's a lot of them that I can't stand, but sometimes they're just right. Like the Walmart brand, like Great Value vanilla yogurt that you get in like 2-pound things. Like it's so wonderful. I've tried the more expensive ones. I just want the cheapy one. Sometimes I think about learning to make it myself. Obviously, like, you know how it is. There's plenty of stuff where you already know how to make it. You know, I know how to make rice, you know. I just use the machine to do it because it's better at it. Better at frozen key lime pie. Frozen cheesecake. I have not tried that, I don't think. I don't think I've tried a frozen key lime pie, but I do love key lime pie. It is my favorite kind of pie, although I do not have it all of the time. But, and of course, since a thing that I often dislike in foods is like a texture that's irregular or that has, you know, parts of it that I dislike, which is like, there's rather a lot of fruit pies, right, that are unpredictable. Maybe blackberry be delicious, but there are seeds in blackberry, and that means you can't ever have a good time, right? Which is a shame, because I know blackberries are good, and we had like a little blackberry patch at my house growing up. That was one of the things that we would do sometimes. We would go out and get absolutely eaten alive by bugs. And pick blackberries. Alright, well, that's right, we have a house here. We can go in there. So, if we have to do these, then I just don't want to. I'm not doing it. That quest made me unnaturally. Why are we so suffer? Exactly. It's that's just like what the creatures around always have to wonder about. All right, so there's just a few more items there. 5 relics, 4 cylinders, and 6 mementos, and alright, so 6 more tools to get. That takes us to 91. 1 more mask shard gets us a mask. That's probably a percent. Gets us to 92. So we have quests, but if the quests don't give you... A quest doesn't give you a percentage point, right? Only certain things do. I don't know what they are. Dwarf warrior with great weapons of charge reflection or both large melee. They would have neither of those, unless you have techs or some sort of buff that gives them to those. Great weapons removes the shield and gives them primary armor piercing, slightly higher attack and slightly lower defense. That's the great weapon thing. That's what you get. They're not anti-large halberds. There's no anti-large bonus at all. But in principle, of course, since most cavalry that is a problem has some armor, great weapons do double duty there. Halberds are primary armor piercing, anti-large, but dwarves don't get any of that. Your foot soldier stuff comes from slayers, which the normal ones don't have the AP, right? You have to have the giant slayers have the anti-large and the AP. And of course, since slayers are so good, no, the auto-resolve hates them. What are you gonna do? Alright, well. I'm having too good of a time, but I gotta go to bed. Yeah, well, Luke, if they won't run, what are you gonna do, right? Yeah, and that's the other thing though, is because you don't have the high mobility. Anti-large is less of a worry when you have ranged units. And then really, you have slayers for flank defense, and then your ranged units are your anti-large, would you want to sacrifice any offensive stats to make your front line better at fighting cavalry? Well, you're going to shoot the cavalry, you're going to shoot the chariots. But I think you can get expert charge resistance. I think you can get expert through the tech tree. You can get very, very good improvements to the dwarf warriors and longbeards and ironbreakers stuff through the tech tree. But I don't remember off the top of my head, because the last campaigns we played was the Malachi one where we barely, there's so many good techs in the tree. We didn't even, you don't get the dwarf iron breaker tech if you don't have any. They get the ballistic plating, which. But anyway. You know, I don't feel tired at all. I still have to go to bed. At the very least, I have to stop talking so loud. And that means I gotta quit talking at all. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Good night, Luke. It's good to see ya. Good night, Ayush. Good night, Justine. Good night, Neo. Heard on firepower overall. What's their like weapon skill like? Like less than a gyro bomber type of thing, or like right around that, you know? So could you get a bunch of the item with the self-refilling quiver? Because I know they have restock, but yeah. Keep the original organism. Yeah. Which, you know, is fine, but even with a full yellow line, is going to be weaker, you know, than the magic attacks that you can get from the gyro bomber from the thing, or, you know, all the other crazy stuff you get. But I still love the idea of it. I did get the mod, I just haven't played with it yet. I love the idea of it, you know, just having, you know, 2 air wings, and then you have, you know, 1 engineer embedded with each of them, you know, to, you know, direct traffic and do his abilities or whatever. You know, the mobile restock platforms. Or if I were more disciplined, you know, just like 1 master engineer. Yeah, emergency repair. It's fine if you're careless, but in my experience, if you're not going to notice before then with a flying unit, you're not going to notice when it goes off either. Oh yeah, and you have regen there, yeah. But I might play another Total War Sunday, maybe. I think maybe Grom, maybe Gorbad, and like be a grown-up and get a second army and like think about what I'm going to do ahead of time and not just like go in a direction. But I just like Grom better, so we might play Grom. I just really like Grom. I like running in on his big strong chariot. I like how he comes back to life all the time, you know, that's nice. And Gorba stuff is fun, but like, have you ever had regenerating goblin archers with like splitting ammunition with high armor piercing? It's pretty cool. Yeah, I just Grom's Cauldron, what a mechanic. Every other mechanic, even the ones that are better, are just trying to get back to how good it felt to do that one. You know, it encourages you to explore. The bonuses are so good. I mean, there's some that are clearly better than others, but they're all pretty awesome, I think. Only starting in Green Climate Zone. It encourages him to explore. And since my style is to move in a direction and break things, you know? Take Grom to the Badlands, take over, and then go burn down the elves. Or to save on postage. But anyway, I really have to go to bed, but see you guys. Good night, Luke. Good night, everyone. I've already said all of the good nights. I'm out of here. See you guys.